What do you charge? This is by far the most asked question I get from videographers. And to me, it comes down to three main things. Experience. How long have you been filming weddings? How big is your portfolio? How good is your work compared to other videographers? Second, target audience. What's your clientele? Elopements, destination, LDS, local? What's your demographic? What's the average price for a videographer for where you live? And third, demand. Are you booking more than you can handle? Or on the other hand, are you barely getting any inquiries? Or you're getting a lot of inquiries but losing them to your prices? People DM me all the time and ask me what they should charge, and I don't know. It depends on your experience, your target audience, and your demand. Quick history about my prices. My first two weddings, I didn't decide the price. They decided it for me. My friend's mom said she paid me $400, and another friend of mine said they paid me $300. So unfortunately, when I started out, that's what I thought I was worth. So I started charging $400 for a wedding video. One of these cheap videos turned out stunning. The location, the chemistry, the couple, everything. It allowed me to raise my prices because it was way better than any of my previous videos I had done in the past. This video was also a result of me upgrading my camera from a T2i to a 5D Mark IV, which now allowed me for a full frame 1080 at 60 frames per second. So I doubled my prices. Yes, I lost clients who wanted to only spend $400, but who cares? I was now shooting nicer weddings and making more. My experience was expanding, and so was my demand. Following my mentor's advice, I was also doing free work for small businesses during the week in order to increase my videography skills. One of these companies was for a local photographer. She wanted some behind the scenes footage of her working with her clients. During an engagement shoot of one of her couples, I shot some footage of her couple and then turned it into a short, fun little video. And then I sent it to her couple and they loved it. The photographer reached out to me and said that they wanted to book me for their wedding day. And the photographer told them that I charged $1,100. She texted me and said, "I hope I wasn't lowballing you." I was shocked. They were willing to pay me $300 more than I usually charged, and the photographer still thought she was lowballing me. That opened my eyes up again to raising my prices. So I did. My experience and quality of my work had gotten to a point where I should be charging more, but I just didn't see it. It doesn't matter how many hours you've put in or how many videos you've made. Your work needs to progressively be getting better. Sadly, I see videographers who've been shooting for 2 years or more and their videos to me look the same as they did 2 years ago. Don't let that be you. So then my average price for a wedding was around $1,400 until once again, my demand started to increase and I was filming about 8 or 10 weddings during the summer and fall, and my clientele started to expand. I received a couple inquiries to do traditional weddings, which I had never done. They liked my work, but didn't want me because 1, I didn't have a portfolio to show to them, and 2, I quote, "Your prices are too low." They did not trust how low my prices were. It made my work unattractive. So once again, I raised my prices to around $2,200. Knowing people were spending $2,000 on me gave me the drive I needed to work my hardest and produce the best work I possibly could. I stepped out of my comfort zone, became more ambitious with my clients, started filming more destination weddings, traveled more to California, to Phoenix, and ultimately gave the client their money's worth plus more. In summary, I was filming nicer weddings and making more and working less. And again, as my experience grew and my target audience expanded, so did my demand. So I decided to move on to specialize in elopements and destination weddings, charging around $4,000, and that's where I'm at now in 2019. Good friends of mine who have been filming weddings for decades are charging around $8,000 or more for a wedding film. It requires experience, a target audience, and a high demand. So now that you have a brief history of my pricing, let's get back to the main question. What should you charge? That is entirely up to you. There's no wrong answer here. Sort of. But don't charge $4,000 if you only produce $400 work, regardless of how long you've been doing it. Don't charge $400 when you're booking 10 weddings a month and each wedding requires 8 hours of work. You're worth more than that. And if you're just starting out, I encourage you to film weddings for free or for cheap. Your payment isn't money in this case. It's a portfolio. It's experience. Ask your clients what their budget is for a wedding videographer and build from there. If you need to do it for free to get a portfolio, great. If they're willing to pay you, even better. An average price in America for wedding videographer is about $1,400. I would recommend, depending on the quality of your work, sticking your prices around $800 to $1,200 if you're just starting out. If you have a little more experience but still don't know where to charge, start around $1,000 to $1,400. And once you start booking, you'll get a hang of how much you're worth. Like when you're charging $1,400 and then working too much, you'll learn to raise your prices to $1,800 to work less and make more. Another crucial part of my pricing is through upsells. I have my packages that I offer, which we go over in another video, but basically my packages cover everything they can expect for their wedding video. My top package starts at $4,000, with each lower package offering less services but for less cost. But after I list my packages on my brochure, I have upsells, my add-ons, my extras. These are things that I would rather not include or do at their wedding day, but would be willing to if they paid extra, like a full ceremony edit, or raw footage, or rush edits, etc. These things I price lower. People always want them because how much they can justify the price, and because of how seemingly low the price is when you compare it to my packages. For example, after scrolling past numbers like 4,000 and 3,600, to see raw footage of the toast being offered for a small price of 200, nobody thinks twice and they get it. Also in my add-ons, I include my travel fees for out-of-state weddings. I customize this per client, but I outline my airfare, hotel, and rental car fees. I always have my clients pay for my travel fees on top of the package they want, unless it's a destination that I really want to travel to or shoot at. For example, next year I'm shooting a destination wedding in Hawaii. I asked them to only cover my travel expenses, and I'd give them a free video for 2 reasons. 1, Hawaii is my favorite place on earth, and 2, having a Hawaii wedding in my portfolio will open up tons of doors for more Hawaii weddings that will pay me full price, so it was worth it. The payment was the content, but once I have the content, the payment will need to be the money again. Some videographers like myself estimate out the exact amount of what it will cost to travel, how much the flight, hotel, and rental car would be. Others I know just have a set travel price, and whatever they don't spend, they get to pocket. Obviously, the client needs to be aware of this type of packaging if it's what you want, but from the friends I have that use it, it works well. So there you have a quick look at my pricing and what I would recommend charging, and please don't take this the wrong way. Please don't think that I'm saying you have to do this, and this is the best and only way to price yourself, and if you don't price yourself this way, you'll never be successful. Absolutely not. All we have is our own experience, and this is mine. Start somewhere and work your way up. Know your worth. 2 weeks ago, I had a bride reach out to me. Gorgeous bride, gorgeous venue, destination wedding in Iowa, and she told me that her budget was $2,600. I emailed her back with my prices, which for what she wanted was around $4,000. She ended up booking me for $4,000, plus a ceremony edit and extra hour of coverage, bringing the total to $4,800. And she's covering my travel fees, which is another $800. So she said her budget was $2,600, but she ended up spending $5,600 on me. Why? Who knows? Maybe she was lowballing me her budget in the first place to try to get a deal, or maybe she loved my work so much that she was willing to pay a premium. Maybe she compared my work to other videographers in the $2,600 range and wanted me because my prices made me look like a premium. Who knows? We'll never know. But I like to believe that my work spoke for my prices, and my prices spoke for my work. Was it a risk in losing the client to my high prices? Absolutely. But I'm confident that if she didn't book me for that busy day in the summer, someone else would with the right budget. Know your worth and work your way up to it. A month ago, I had a bride emailing me with a budget of $10,000. Do I charge 10 grand? No. But did I want to utilize that budget? Absolutely. Now, it would be dishonest of me to reply to her and say, yes, here are my packages, I charge 10 grand. When I don't. But it allowed me to send her packages that included way more than what I typically include. In other words, because she wanted to spend more on the video, I got to do more on the video. More shooters, longer edits, more production, thus resulting in a $10,000 quality video. I sent her my prices and my packages, which ended up being $8,600, and then travel fees cost around $1,400 for me and my 3-man crew. So it worked out perfectly. And to maybe help out a little bit more, I've put together 6 albums for you to give you an idea of the results of my pricing. In the description below, there's a link to each of these albums, each one labeled with different pricing, and you can see the growth as the price rises. But again, in no ways am I saying that my work is the standard, or that just because I price myself a certain way means you should do the same. All I'm saying is if you would like a reference because you feel you're in the same boat as where I was, these albums can help. The password to view each album is WVP. Again, I'm here to help. Email me your questions, examples of your work, or whatever you need to if you're still unsure of what to do. I'd be happy to discuss it further with you. Well, that's it for figuring out how to know what to charge. If you guys have any further questions, please let me know.